The first K-pop thing that I realized is that co-ed groups exist, but not the kind that K-pop stans would wanna support. What I mean by that, is that I've seen some K-pop stans wanting more mixed groups even though there's quite a lot to exist. But, looking at those co-ed groups, not all of them are ones that K-pop stans would wanna support, because while we have groups like ZP-Line who are a K-pop group, other groups who also do Korean pop music, like YOS for example, are not dance pop, K-pop idol like dance pop, but still make that type of music. So I've realized that despite quite a bit of co-ed groups existing and debuting, there's a lesser amount of K-pop idol co-ed groups like Card or Deluxe or Checkmate etc., and I feel like K-pop stans want those types of co-ed groups, and not just co-ed groups in general. IDK, I just think that this is maybe the case, because there are K-pop stans who don't only listen to K-pop for the music, but also to stan the group, watch live performances, see their stage presence and other things, so they probably want more co-ed groups, but rather more fitting to the mold of an idol as opposed to just a regular pop artist who makes the music they want, but isn't an idol. The next K-pop thing that I realized is that it's not the poor quality of the song, it's the lack of talent, and what I mean to say is that, there are some nugu K-pop songs that are badly vocally edited and I've come to the realization that the vocal editing is not the villain in making the group's vocals bad, but it could be the fact that the members cannot sing. There's this channel that I found called Dream Team's Entertainment who debut original global K-pop groups that sing original songs in Korean. In all honesty, their music doesn't have the best production and they need to work on it more, but taking one of their group's Melodyne as an example, you'll see a member or two sounding really good despite the low quality production. It showed me that the bad production of some nugu K-pop songs aren't making the vocals bad, but the lack of talent is. Also, I know that idols exist where the idol sings good and they're just not trained fully to their capabilities, or maybe they're singing a genre and/or type of song that doesn't fit their voice in a key that doesn't fit their voice, but I feel like a lot of the industry are just there existing. They have no actual talent and just debuted in the group because the company accepted them, and I don't know why. I believe this is true also because music production cannot fix bad singing, and that if you sound bad when a song has bad production, fixing the production of the song cannot save the song if your singing is bad to begin with. The next K-pop thing that I realized is that K-pop stans would or wouldn't show certain K-pop songs to non-K-pop stans, but when did K-pop stans become music experts to know what's good and what's bad in K-pop? K-pop stans picking and choosing these songs when making these videos, they seem to be so knowledgeable when making these videos because they know exactly what non-K-pop stans will like. They're such music experts that they can tell that the songs they pick are good enough to show non-K-pop stans and the ones they leave out are bad. They've analyzed all the K-pop releases before and they're definitely not being biased by just picking their favorite songs and removing songs they don't like. They're such music experts that know what non-K-pop stans will like without asking the non-K-pop stan their tastes, their preferences in soft or loud music, what genre do they prefer. K-pop stans just know all of that beforehand, because if they're picking songs they think are fitting to show non-K-pop stans, then that means K-pop stans know everything there is to know about good and bad production. The next K-pop thing that I realized is that I don't think that K-pop stans actually care about issues. Because while them boycotting K-pop companies for Palestine was showing them doing something good, why did they wanna follow through with the boycott, telling K-pop stans what to do and what not to do in the boycott, referring them to links for the companies they were boycotting groups' music to listen to the songs without giving views on the original songs? Why were they doing all this when they never boycotted New Jeans for Cookie being inappropriate sung by minors and boycotting them for ETA literally resembling the Spanish terrorist organization of the same name?
On June 26th, NewJeans' official Twitter released information ahead of the group's comeback. In the video, with a car being seen, it was revealed that the song would be called ETA and had other pieces of information. Fans pointed out that ETA was the name of a Spanish terrorist group, while many fans tried to defend the claims by explaining that it stood for estimated time of arrival. As the netizens dug deeper, they focused on the names shown in the trailer, which are Mikkel, Maria, and Ava. Netizens pointed out that they all have connections to the ETA in some way. ETA means Spanish terrorist group, while Mikkel means leader of the group, whereas Maria and Ava means Mikkel's wife and first victim, respectively. Netizens believed that it was done with intent and believed that there were too many coincidences for it not to be addressed in some way.
Why aren't they boycotting ILIT for them being minors singing the inappropriate Tic Tac English version? Why did New Jeans still have fans after Cookie and ETA? Why do ILIT still have fans? It's just disappointing to see K-pop stans pick and choose what they boycott, which made me realize that K-pop stans might not actually care for issues, or else they would be trying to stand up for all issues in K-pop and try to do something, even if it fails in the end, to at least show that they care. I'm just saying, if they're wanting to boycott for Palestine and do good, they should be boycotting other K-pop things as well, right? If they truly care, they should show it more and not just boycott for one and not the other. The next K-pop thing that I realized is that I was reading an article about how Lisa copied a fourth-generation girl group, and it was about Lisa copying XG for Fuck Up the World or something. In the article there was a Twitter user's tweet that said, and I quote, "She's so shameless and getting away with it, cause XG isn't that popular," and the XG isn't that popular part made me realize that people don't know the difference between who actual unpopular groups versus who they call as unpopular when they're not. XG are popular, and I know that XG were not called unpopular in this tweet, but you can tell that if someone calls a popular and known group not that popular, then that means they don't know anything. Almost every K-pop stan knows XG by name and can name some of their music. A lot of K-pop stans mostly listen to bigger groups and know the mainstream side of K-pop with groups like Red Velvet, New Jeans, IVE, Blackpink, etc., and maybe people see other popular groups and call those popular groups unpopular, or not so popular, or underrated, and whatnot, simply for the fact that they might see these groups not on the level of popularity as the groups I've mentioned. These type of K-pop stans probably see a certain level of popularity as popular, and so popular groups are called unpopular and things simply for them not being on that level. IDK, but I think this is the case. The next K-pop thing that I realized is that K-pop shorts. Unpopular K-pop opinions videos where they just write some short texts of their opinion without using a voice in one sentences. Opinions videos can be a easy way for people to just say something short as their opinion, when the real thing could be the fact that they don't know how to actually explain the why part of their opinions, which makes it easier on them to just say the opinion to the part where the opinion can come off as a full opinion but would still need context. And since shorts don't have a long run time and one-sentence opinions don't focus on opinions longer than one sentence, this might be a good thing for some channels to just share opinions without having to fully go in depth into them, since they can use this shortcut. Also, I know that not all who do these videos shorts are incapable of explaining the opinion, because some people are just focused on K-pop shorts content and probably prefer it that way, but for others I feel like this could be true and they're just not able to do so. I feel like it can also be said the same but in a different way for people who overuse opinions that have been said before many times. Maybe there are channels who make unpopular K-pop opinions videos shorts, but overuse opinions and even going as far as to say the same thoughts to the opinion because they have lack of thinking and maybe they cannot come up with their own opinions. I feel like maybe the true reality is that for both parts, people just don't have the thinking capabilities to fully explain their opinions and think of their own opinions, so these types of videos for the first type of people and people overusing opinions for the second kind could be seen as a loophole to get around these things. The next K-pop thing that I realized is that K-pop stans get a little too overexcited for releases. Like with certain groups releasing music after some time, or a group releasing a song where the teaser is something that looks exciting, or if an idol from a group is making a solo debut, or anything that gets K-pop stans excited, they get a little too overexcited and get disappointed when it doesn't meet the anticipation that they had for the release. I don't understand people who get so overexcited for releases when they could be disappointed by the song being mid, bad, messy, or something that could make you dislike the song. K-pop stans should expect less from releases, because you're not gonna be wowed away every time you get overexcited for song releases and or certain groups, idols and soloists releasing music. Plus, even if you think this song is gonna sound good because you never found a miss in the artist's discography, you might finally get disappointed anticipating a song's release because it's not on par for you as their other releases are or for you. You shouldn't be setting your expectations high for every release that you anticipate, and you should be open to the possibility that it might not hit as much as you're thinking it's gonna hit, because remember, song teasers are just a few seconds of a song, and that few seconds could just be a small part to a song that is overall not good, and that small part is the only part you like. Not every artist is gonna provide the flavor that makes you love them so much for every release to make you overexcited for their new releases, and you should accept that. The next K-pop thing that I realized is that unpopular K-pop opinions are bad, horrible, and bland. I've talked about them too much, and I still talk about them. But, even though I want them to stop and unpopular K-pop opinions videos, shorts to be gone, in all honesty, them being there is great for me. I get so much of inspo watching unpopular K-pop opinions who are mostly recycling the same opinions over and over again. Watching opinions videos, shorts in general, puts my brain into creativity mode because I see certain opinions and then think of new K-pop related thoughts from those opinions, and I end up making new K-pop thought related videos. I want them gone, but deep down without them, I might not be easily having many new thoughts. Every chance I get, I watch new shorts videos of K-pop opinions simply because I want new thoughts to come into my head. They may be the bane of my existence, but they're still of use to me and very helpful. I should give them more credit for that, because quite a few of my K-pop related thoughts are based off of opinions videos, shorts that I saw where one opinion put my thinking cap into motion. They get me to think more, and so I thank them for that. The next K-pop thing that I realized is that though I've done one-sentence opinions videos in the past, I've come to the conclusion that I'm not cut out to do them anymore, and neither am I cut out to do unpopular K-pop opinions in the form of shorts. I will not be doing one-sentence opinions videos again and opinions in shorts form simply because I like to express my K-pop related thoughts and try to go in depth, even though I may repeat things in one-sentence opinions along with unpopular K-pop opinions, but in shorts form are too restricting. Nowadays, I love having as many K-pop related thoughts as I possibly can, till I'm like, I should stop, the video is already long enough. I don't want to be restricted by the limitations of short-formed opinions and one-sentence opinions, and I love having to explain myself long enough for the opinion to be full and complete, and gives context to what I have to say in relations to my thoughts about K-pop. I'm always trying to bring new thoughts in each time, and so I have to make long-formed content explaining them, since unpopular K-pop opinions have gone downhill, and a very rare few make original opinions anymore, so me being able to make long-formed original opinions is very freeing in ways of sharing original thoughts, and speaking for as long as I want on different thoughts that I've had. Making K-pop related thought videos is fun for me because it challenges me to come up with new takes and helps me to think more often than just resorting to using overused opinions, which I don't do unless I'm taking the opinion and making it my own. I like and prefer long-formed K-pop thought related content, and my brain will never stop thinking of new K-pop things. The last K-pop thing that I realized is that K-pop stans talk about many times that we don't know these idols, and it's completely true. We don't know these idols, and we just see on-screen idols who don't show their true personalities. But what about idols during scandals? When an idol gets exposed for something, say a bullying scandal, there are people who will be quick to hate on the idol without waiting for more information. We don't know these idols, so why are we so quick to hate on them in scandals? These idols could be innocent and we don't know that yet, but we still hate on them. We don't know these idols' true selves, and some of these idols could actually be good people, and we should also see that too. We should be more open to the possibility of them being good, and we should also talk about that when talking about this topic, because I feel like when people talk about this, they mention it in the sense of idols not being who they are, and they might be bad people, but they can also be good as well.